back to the Avert Alzheimer's channel. Today we are going to be doing our very first brain health Alzheimer's prevention recipe, and this will be an ongoing series. So I am super excited about this. My plan was to do a quiche for you today, but unfortunately we have a huge egg shortage here, which I'm sure if you are an egg eater, you're aware of happening in your own area. So instead, I'm going to be doing some keto bagels. I am going to put these together and show you what the finished product is. And then tonight for dinner, my husband and I will be having lox and cream cheese with our bagels. Now, I have on my lovely table some New York style bagels that I made for him. This is what they look like. He's already taken a bite out of one, the little one. But he really doesn't prefer to eat keto and carnivore breads. So I always make his from regular flour, and I just wanted to kind of give you this, and that way when you see my finished product, you'll get to see what the reference looks like from a regular bagel to a carnivore keto bagel. And I keep saying carnivore keto because you can make it carnivore. Mine will be keto because I prefer to have fat in mine, and so I will be, instead of using egg yolks, using mayonnaise. So let's get started. All right, I have one 16-ounce container of egg whites, and I am just going to, you really kind of want these to be at room temperature, but these are not because I've been incredibly busy and did not remember to set them out. So one 16-ounce container of egg yolks going in here, and I will put this recipe in the show notes. And then I am using 1 teaspoon of salt, which I typically don't measure salt, I just dump. And then I have 1.5 tablespoons of this unflavored gelatin. I have the Great Lakes Gelatin Company. There are other companies out there that are a little bigger on the market, but this is the one that I'm using today. So 1.5 tablespoons of gelatin. Now we are going to go throw this in to the KitchenAid mixer and get it nice and fluffy. Let's go. All right, we are just gonna turn this sucker onto high speed and get this egg white mixture nice and thick. Okay, so you want those eggs to be super stiff peaks, and so this is what it needs to look like. See how crazy stiff that is? All right, let's move on to the next step. Okay, once your egg whites are super stiff, as you can see here, you are going to want to fold in your fat if you're doing keto, and I prefer them keto because I don't really like the texture of the bread when it doesn't have any fat in it, so I use a little bit of fat. So what I've used today, because I can't buy eggs, is a third of a cup of mayonnaise. And the mayonnaise that I'm using is Primal Kitchen keto mayonnaise, and they use avocado oil, organic eggs, organic egg yolks, vinegar, sea salt, and rosemary extract. That's the only thing in this. So it's one of the cleanest mayonnaises that you can buy on the market if you're not using your own mayonnaise, making your own mayonnaise. And then I have some protein powder, egg white protein powder, and I am just going to mix this all together, and then I will fold it in to my egg whites. And the reason that I fold it into the egg whites is because you want to keep as much air as you can in those egg whites. It's not like a typical bread. You can't just expect it to rise. Now, the reason that I put the gelatin in it is because it gives it a chewier texture like a regular bagel, and it helps it with some of that flavor. This recipe that I'm using right now is adopted from Maria Emmerich, who was my keto nutrition coach, and she's who I got my certification through, and she does these carnivore style with the no fat. She also does them keto style, but I don't know what her measurements are. So this is just my own, and it could be that I'm doing it from memory of hers. I don't really know. I'm just doing what I know. All right, so I've kind of mixed all that together now. I'm gonna fold it in, and you wanna take care, you don't have to be super ginger, but you definitely wanna take care not to let those egg whites collapse. So just fold it in, and you can do the mayonnaise by itself and then do the powder, the egg white powder. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So now I have 2 silicone bagel molds that I'm going to fill with my bagel mixture. And I have coated them in duck fat. Now this is the first time I will have done this because I have never used duck fat for my silicone molds before. And I'm really interested to see how this is going to turn out. I'm hoping that because I'm using duck fat, I'm going to get a crispier bottom, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I have a large spoon. I'm just going to start spooning mixture into these molds, and you kind of want it to be fluffy and stick out over the mold. You don't want it to be flush with the mold because these will settle some after they bake. So, and I have a feeling I might have more mix than my molds can hold, but we'll see. Which is fine, I'll just make hamburger buns or something with it. There's a lot you can do with this mix, but we really wanted some bagels and cream cheese and lox. If you like bagels and cream cheese and lox, let me know in the comments below. And also let me know in the comments below, because this is a brand new playlist for me, what you would like for me to cook up that's carnivore or keto that you would like to see. Because my goal is to help people understand that keto doesn't have to be difficult. It can actually be quite simple, quite quick. The longest part of this is the cooking part. And the reason for that is because you need to put it in the oven and let it cook, but then you need to turn the oven off and let it cool in the oven so that the bread doesn't fall. But because it's egg white based, and yes, there's a little bit of fat in it, but because it's egg white based and there's no true rising agent in here, it will fall if you take it out and cool it too quickly. So you want to let it sit in the oven for about an hour after you cook them. So keep that in mind if you're doing this recipe, that you want to leave it, you want to have plenty of time for them to sit and cool in the oven, at least an hour. So I'm going to finish these up, and then I'm going to get them baked, and then I will see you at the end of the baking time. Oh, and my oven is set to convection at 350, so it convects at 325. If you don't have convection, bake them at 325 for 30 minutes. 25 to 30. I usually go 30 because I want them more cooked. I like them done. All right, I'll see you in just a little while. All right, in the oven they go. Okay, you guys, here they are. That is a keto bagel, and like I said, they're gonna look real from the bagels that are made with flour, but let's pull one out. See how they look. So they have a little bit of moisture on the bottom, I assume from the duck fat, which is fine. Let's see. There's the bottom. And the way that I typically do these is I just stack 2 on top of each other, because 2 things: you're not getting a lot of fat, you are getting a substantial amount of protein, but there's really they're really interesting in terms of how they look or how they cut. They don't really cut well, but I'll show you what they look like on the inside, because they really do look like bread. So this is the inside that will focus. So it does actually look like bread. A little taste. The duck fat definitely gave it more flavor, I think, but I almost wonder if maybe I put too much on some of these. But it tastes great. Let's pull the rest of them. Yeah, that's an interesting texture. I've never seen that, but they do taste really good. I'm excited to see how they taste with, okay, that one's a little better because it didn't have as much duck fat. You can see it got some crispness on the bottom. Yeah. So again, that's just something I was playing around with, and you guys get to be the guinea pig while I'm doing that. Because I've always used like avocado oil or something. But yeah, so these actually are a really good thickness. And you know, the tops are egg white. Okay, now it's time to make some lox and cream cheese. So what I do for my lox and cream cheese is we always have a ton of cream cheese because we are big cream cheese eaters, and I have some smoked salmon that we got from our local store, and I can't eat all of this because I have to share it with my husband. So I'm going to make one for me and let you see it, and then I'm going to make us some food to eat for dinner. So basically what I do is I take 2 of these, like I said, and then I just turn them into 1 bagel. And this is what it will look like. And we love cream cheese here. I am a firm believer in New York style bagels. Before I really hit my keto stride, I would eat bagels with a ridiculous amount of cream cheese on them. And even though you can't tell because it's going into the little hole, this is a lot of cream cheese. So I have my cream cheese. Actually, you know what? I think I'll have some more because I don't want the fat today. I had a really, really big workout this morning. Like an hour of just weightlifting. It was a lot. And then I'm going to take a piece of the salmon. If I can get it. There we go. So there we go. Some salmon, and then I'm just going to fold it on here. And then I have, whoops, my sandwich. Yay! Sandwich. And for the sake of showing you how delicious it is, I'm going to have a bite and then I'm going to go. So yeah, definitely not the same texture of bread, but bready enough that you feel like you're eating a sandwich. And you can actually make this into a loaf bread and you get a little better texture. So I encourage you to give it a shot. Like I said, the longest prep or the longest part of this recipe is the wait time after it finishes cooking, because you need to let it sit in the oven and cool so that you can actually have bread that doesn't collapse. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I'm putting out new videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.